Hello to everyone. How are you? This is Joanna. And if I start talking rather fast, I want to apologize in advance. I have just come in the door. I left about 9 something this morning because one of my eBay items sold. It was that Cleonda Emily Violet or something like that palette. While I was out though, somebody purchased this and I thought that I would go ahead and mail it out in the morning, but that can't happen because my job decided to have an all-day meeting from 8 to 5. I hate when they do that. They have their little training. So I'm going to have to go back out on the next bus. So again, I apologize if I start talking fast. I do want to share with you what I picked up. I went out to do a pickup order from Target. And I wanted to talk about this as well. We will talk about this probably in a separate video because when I get done with this, I need to figure out, because the boxes that I had that I could mail this in, I got rid of. I need to figure out how to package this up nicely and send it off to the person that purchased that from me. And again, because this right here will need to be talked in depth on its own. So if you are someone in the medical field, a nurse, an EMT, just anything where you need a stethoscope or you want to know about the Littman Core stethoscope, I will share with you what I know, what I've learned along the way. So into what I did purchase today. My pickup order were some things that I heard about on YouTube, and I heard about these items from Kayla Michelle. So I have never used anything like this before. This right here I'm curious about because I used to always brush my tongue in my kids' tongues just for no general reason. I just did it. But when she talked about these being disposable, they got me interested. I had 2 or 3 of each one in my basket. They were inexpensive. Something was $2.99, something was $3.99. So while I was there though, because that was the pickup order, while I was there, I ended up going over in their little snack aisle. I got kind of miffed because I was looking for Crisco oil. And Target had a lot of the Good and Gather brand, which is their brand, and it's okay, but when I'm looking for oils, I am very specific. I want Wesson, Crisco, Planters peanut oil will even do when it comes to my pork chops and my fried chicken, but I usually will blend that oil with lard, or they even had the little Crisco shortening, but I needed the size that I got in the Good and Gather oil is the size that I needed in Crisco. But since it's just for pork chops and it is just for today, I'll probably be frying these things, guys, at 6 o'clock at night, because if I left at 9 this morning and I'm just now getting home and it's 1:39, I'm going to have a little time. But I wanted to try these. I had heard just plain Jane talking about the okra. I'm not going to mess with okra. But she did say that this Tabitha Brown made an okra. She didn't really, go for okra, but she liked it. She said before she knew it, she finished the jar. So I ain't going to mess with no okra. I don't like it. I have tried it in every form. I was that little girl that saw where everybody that ate it had beautiful long hair. I wanted beautiful long hair. I couldn't do it. But these I wanted to definitely try. It says that they are vegan, which doesn't matter to me. And they are salt and vinegar cashews. They had a whole bunch of them, so I went ahead and I got 2. While I was there, I went ahead and got some Coke. Now, I was going to get cherry Coke or even Pepsi, but I have a smidge left of my sugar-free caramel syrup. Now, I bought that accidentally to put in my coffee. I don't like sugar-free. Y'all have heard me say that. But when I stirred a teaspoon or 2 of that into my Coke, it did give it a nice caramel flavor. When I stirred in my regular caramel syrup, it kind of canceled out. It canceled out each other. It didn't work. The sugar-free one worked nicely. So I'm going to take the little bit of sugar-free that's left and I'm just going to put it in my Coke and make it a caramel Coke. I needed more oat milk. They did have the plain and creamy that I like. Y'all know that I love and favor the Chobani plain and creamy. Second, I favor the vanilla first. I have not tried the other ones. I think the sugar-free, fat-free, I have not tried that. But I do like this one. This one is like neck and neck with the vanilla for me. When I see this, I will get it. So because they didn't have the vanilla one, I went ahead and got this. I have really, really liked this. And I can't play and act like I haven't. I have really liked it. I wasn't crazy about the original one, but I do like this. This is the oil that I got because, like I said, I would have gotten Crisco in this size. I don't know. The little bin for that was empty, and all they had was that big giant one for $13. And I have a problem with Target with that sometimes. When it comes to paper towels, the detergents, it's like they stock like they're Costco or something, and everything is big. I am one lone person. When I go after detergent and oil and even fabric softeners, I don't need it to be gigantic. So the only other two things that I got was some microwave popcorn. If I would have been out at Meijer, I would have gotten Jolly Time, but this is another favorite of mine. If it's not Jolly Time, it's Pop Secret. Y'all seen this out of me for years. And I had seen this water out at Meijer and decided to pick it up from Target. And it is Beach Plum. So I'm excited to try that out. And the only other thing that led me out today, oh, they left the extra piece in here. I had, the one that I shared with you last week was this one, and it broke. And the little girl left the extra piece in here. So they did give me another one, so I have that. And I don't know what I'll do with this. I could probably use it for something. And the only other thing I got was I was in Macys fooling around like I shouldn't have been. And I used to use this, guys, years ago. I've also seen Jasmine talk about it, but I had this back when it first came out. I think my son was maybe 7 or 8. That would have been like 2007 or so. I kept spraying this. It was at, I'm trying to think of where it was. I don't remember if it was Famous Bar or Macys, because Famous Bar is where Dillard's now is. And it was in 2007. I was somebody who would spray perfume all the time. I would spray it every time I would go in there to make sure that I like it. And if I kept messing with it, I would buy it. I know at that time, Dior Addict 2 was out. It was pink, and I was trying to make a choice between the two. And this one ended up winning, and I completely missed out on both Gucci Envy Me and Envy Me 2, which came a little bit later. But I last had a bottle of this in 2016, and I gave it to one of our residents. As y'all know, I worked in an Alzheimer's unit then, Oasis, and this lady couldn't remember that she ate breakfast. She couldn't remember our name. She couldn't remember that she was in a facility, but she could remember every morning to look for this perfume and spray it. She was the only other person that I knew here where I live at that had this. And so I had my big giant bottle that I paid $72 for those last few years because I had worn it so much in conjunction with my Tressar that I loved. I was just letting it had sat on my dresser for like 2 years, and I think I had only sprayed it once. So that year I asked our administrator if I could bring it in and give it to her, and he said yes. So when hers ran out, I just switched the bottles, and she never knew. But I'm telling you, it was the funniest thing. She couldn't remember anything else, but if she didn't see this perfume and she couldn't spray it that morning, she would look for it high and low. So I think her family brought her in some after that because we had a really, really bad snow that year. And that's why I gave her mine. But I'm happy to have it back. I can't wait to see if this smells just like I know that it's supposed to. And the added bonus is this right here and this. When I had mine, I had a body cream. And I had a friend that wanted to use it because, you know, perfume body creams pack a wallop. She had asked me, she had never asked me for anything before, and she had asked to use my Guess by Marciano body cream. And she had a good time. And I think when she wore it, she said her husband complimented her. So I'm glad to have this back. And that is all that I got. And like I said, if you're interested, we will discuss the Littman because I want to share with you the stethoscope that I had. This one here that I have. And this one right here is the original one. So we will discuss that more. And I probably need to record a video on that by itself. But until the next time, everyone have a fantastic day.